There's a new Pew poll out about marijuana legalization. Let's take a look at some charts here. First of all, we see the overall opinion on legalizing marijuana. This is from 1969 until today. And what you see is the trends going in the right direction. You see that in 1969, 84% of people said marijuana should be illegal. Only 12% of people said it should be legal. And then as you moved along there, you see there's some dips and there's some rises. But when you fast forward until 2000, it's still 63% say it should be illegal. 31% say it should be legal. So we're still upside down and is not looking good for people who want to legalize it. But then today, 53% say legalize it, 44% say keep it illegal. So what we're seeing with this chart is very similar to what we've seen in the past with the gay marriage chart, where, as recently as the 1990s and early 2000s, it was still a majority of people who said no gay marriage. But as time has gone by, now it's 58% or 59% of people that say, yes, let's have gay marriage. So the trends are moving towards social liberalism, which I totally agree with. I think it makes sense. I think it's the only thing you could back up with any kind of intellectual argument. And remember, this poll is actually even on the low end. I've seen other polls, and we've discussed them on the show before, where just like with gay marriage, marijuana legalization is at about 58% or 59% of the public saying, yes, let's do that. So that's definitely a great sign. You could also see there, they break it down by generation. Of course, the millennial generation is most in favor of legalizing weed, 68%. There's a tidal wave of support for marijuana legalization. That ain't going away, son. And then you have the Generation X generation. 52% of them say they're in favor of legalizing weed. 50% of the baby boomers, which is actually better than I thought. Half the baby boomers say, yes, legalize it. I would have expected that to be worse. I would have expected, I don't know, maybe 55% or so to be against it, because they became more conservative as they got older, but at least on this issue, they're split 50-50. And then, of course, you have the older generation here. Only 29% say legalize it. I find it hilarious that I don't know if it's a thing that really is specific to generations or if people just get more conservative as they get older, but it's almost like at a certain point, people just go, meh, fuck that, meh, fuck you, don't have fun or do any substances because I say so. Get off my lawn. So that's quite disheartening. I wish some more senior citizens would listen to my program, and then maybe we could change some of their minds. Not really going to happen, but nonetheless, I'll throw it out there. So we also have one more chart here to look at. It says many supporters of legalization cite marijuana's health benefits as the reason here. Among the 53% of people who think marijuana should be legal, this is the main reason why they feel this way. 41% say medicinal benefits. 36% say not as dangerous as other drugs. That is factually correct. 27% say benefits of regulation, such as tax revenue, is a good reason to legalize it. 12% say current enforcement is expensive and problematic. By the way, I think that number would be way more if we had the media properly educating people about the facts of the drug war. Over $1 trillion wasted, 60,000 people or more killed in a literal drug war. Crime has risen, and people are more likely to do drugs today than they were before the drug war. So that number would go up with proper education and the media doing their job. But still, okay, 12% say that. And then also you see there, people should be able to do it if they want to. 9% say that. Yeah, I think all those arguments are true. There's medicinal benefits. It's not as dangerous as other drugs. There's benefits to regulation and tax revenue. It's too expensive to do the drug war, and it leads to more problems. And fuck off, people should have the individual freedom to do what they want. So all those things are true, and you see the breakdown there. And finally, let me just give you some quotes from the research here. They asked people to just give, a soundbite essentially as to why they would be in favor of legalizing it. And here's what some people said. Quote, "It is not as harmful as alcohol. It also helps medical conditions as a more natural substitute to pharmaceuticals." Totally true. That makes sense. Next person said, quote, "My grandson was diagnosed with epilepsy a year ago, and it has been proven that it helps with the seizures." Somebody else said, quote, I think crime would be lower if they legalized marijuana. It would put the drug dealers out of business. That's totally correct. Quote, because people should be allowed to have control over their body and not have the government intervene in that. Hear, hear. And finally, somebody said, quote, I think that we should have more control over it by allowing a federal agency to tax and regulate it like alcohol. Yeah, all I see here from the people who are in favor of it, smart, intellectual, rational comments. They also have a section where they lay out some of the people who are against it, and those are too stupid to even bother sharing with you guys. I'll sum it up like this. People go, it's a drug! It's bad! Drugs are bad! We already have some drugs that are legal. Don't add another thing to the legal things because that'd be bad, and we don't like drugs because they're bad. So that's what the people who are against it are saying, and the people who are for it are all making intellectual points. So here's your research. It's good news. We're continuing to move in the right direction here with marijuana legalization. And all I have to say to the people who are against it, your time's running out. The day's going to come at some point. You just wait and see.